Hi, I'm Christine Punzel. Thanks so much for joining me today. As we know, Tommy, our student with autism, has been having trouble interacting with some of his classmates on the playground. And as his teachers, we want to give him the tools to be as successful as possible when he's interacting with his classmates at school. So today we're going to be talking about an intervention called social stories to help Tommy and other students with autism. According to Paula Kluth, social stories are a tool to help students with autism to learn about relationships and personal interactions, coping with difficult situations, like hearing a loud fire alarm in school, and giving students information about a situation on what to expect and how to respond appropriately. Carol Gray was the first teacher to pen the term social stories by using them with her students with autism and seeing amazing results. Carol has a website that is devoted to social story examples and ideas to use with your students. Social stories can be created with photographs, drawings, magazine clippings, maybe just words alone. They can also be recorded with just audio or both audio and video. Sometimes they include just the teacher, but they can also include the student role playing or reading the story themselves on tape. Social stories can be introduced in many ways. A teacher can read with a student. It can be sent home for families to read at home with the student. It can be kept in a desk so the student can refer to it when they want to or need to. Some students may only need to review the story a couple of times before they feel more comfortable with the situation. In other cases, the story may need to be reviewed daily for a longer period of time. So, the idea behind social stories is to help the student reduce their anxiety and stress and to feel comfortable and calm. It gives them tools to be successful in difficult situations. In Tommy's situation, he is being aggressive toward other students during recess time. We're going to do a social story intervention with him to give him strategies to be more successful in this daily situation so both he and his classmates feel comfortable. Here's an example of the social story we can use with Tommy. Here's the cover to Tommy's social story. It's just entitled Recess with an image of the facility that Tommy has at his school. First page. We have recess before school starts and after lunch. I need to be a Spartan star at recess. At recess, I can be safe by keeping my hands and feet to myself. I can be responsible by following the recess rules. I can be kind by saying kind words and sharing. I can be safe, kind, and responsible. I can ask people to play with me. I can say, do you want to play with me? If they say yes, then I will play with them. We can play on the field, on the playground equipment, or on the blacktop. A friend might not want to play with me at recess, and that is okay. I can play with someone else or by myself. Sometimes friends need some space. I will know a friend needs space because they will say stop or I need some space. I will give a friend space by walking away from them and finding something else to do. I will not chase friends at recess. Chasing friends at recess makes them feel uncomfortable. If a friend tells me stop, I will stop and do something else at recess. I can be safe, kind, and responsible at recess. I am a Spartan star. So now you know what a social story is, but how do you go about creating one? Though there are 3 important steps that you need to follow. According to Carol Gray, the first step is to picture the goal you have in mind for your student. In Tommy's case, it was for him to be socially appropriate at recess and stop chasing classmates that do not want to play with him. Step 2 is to gather information. If it's for a situation where a particular outcome is not guaranteed, try using words like sometimes and usually in the story you create. Use age-appropriate photographs, pictures, symbols, or drawings with text to help those who have difficulty reading and for younger children as well. Step 3, tailor the text with an introduction, body, and conclusion, and use patient and supportive language. You can even insert the student's name into your text for a more personalized touch. It should answer 6 questions: where, when, who, what, why, and how. Now, the technical part. How do you actually create these social stories? Well, you could just use your hands and tools like this to create a social story, but there is technology available. And if you follow the technology tips that I'm going to give you, creating a social story can be a very simple process. I'll put this link and resources at the end of this presentation. This blog on Friendship Circle highlights a dozen apps that can help you create social stories quickly and easily using technology. I'd like to highlight one resource on this blog. It's called Connectability to show you how simple it is to create a social story. Using the tips I shared earlier from Carol Gray, first picture the goal, gather information, and then tailor the text. The goal of this social story that I'm going to demonstrate for you is to help the student raise their hand before talking in class during carpet time. I can use pictures to show the student what they should look like on the carpet. Then I just add text under the picture to describe the who, what, where, when, and why of the situation. Then I grab more photos to show the situation and more text to finish the social story. Then I can print it out to be shared. Well, now that you've learned about the benefits of social stories, I want to see what you've learned. So we'll do a little quiz right now. First question: who created the idea of social stories as an intervention tool for students with autism? The correct answer is Carol Gray. She created this strategy with her own students with success back in the 70s, and social stories are continued to be used today with students with autism. Question number 2: what is the purpose of social stories? Social stories can help students reduce their anxiety and stress and feel comfortable and calm. It gives them tools to be successful in different situations. And our last question: do you have to do all the drawing by yourself to create these social story books? Actually, anybody can create social stories, and there are tons of resources out there. You can refer to my resource page for links and lots of examples that you can recreate to tailor to your own students' specific needs. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you learned a lot about social story interventions and how it can help students with autism become more successful in the classroom. I hope you're able to use this type of intervention with students in your own classroom someday.